Spoiler alert, this video is going to have a twist. Yeah, hi guys. I just wanted to, show a little bit of spring that's gathered here. So I'm going to show you some footage. We're going to get some footage of a beautiful place here in Portland. I think it's a garden, lots of flowers. This is the best time of year to come, so I just wanted to show you guys that. And then of course we're going to talk about some tobacco. So let me show you. Let's go. Well, there's a lot of people here today, so I'm going to go somewhere quiet, somewhere alone, and find, and we can talk about some tobacco. So yeah, let's go. Well, hi there, guys. Yeah, it's time to talk tobacco. Well, yeah, just in a beautiful spot here. Yeah, at a place that, yeah, it's a garden set aside for, yeah, tourist type, activities, looking around at different flowers and plants and stuff. Yeah, it's a beautiful spot, especially for in the spring. So I thought, yeah, so I thought it was a good time to bring spring in, and yeah, and that was a good spot, yeah, to do it. So yeah, hope you guys can just sit down, yeah, during these videos and enjoy pipe and enjoy the scenery, I guess. Yeah, it's much more quiet where I am here, away from the maddening crowd. There's a lot of people there today, so, but it's quieter over here on the edge. So hopefully we won't get too many interruptions. But yeah, I understand people want to see the spring scenery. Yeah, but it's impossible to do. Yeah, to do this there in the main area. So it's too many people, and yeah, I don't think they like people smoking either. So, anyways, yeah. So Mac Baren, that's a tobacco I'm going to talk about, has been driving these traditional tobaccos back into the market, some old and some newer, and putting them in traditional tins, and but this one is a tobacco that they brought back from the 60s with the original recipe. It's a roll cake, spun cut. It has Virginias and Kentuckys and Periques in there. So yeah, it's a really good and interesting blend, I think. So let's get into it. Yeah, so the blend is called Royal Twist, and I really like the tin art that they brought back. So yeah, real traditional tin art for real traditional tobacco. So really like that. It's it's not really fancy or anything like that, but it's, I think, a bit sophisticated and really classy. So I really like that. And it says right on it, high class smoking tobacco, Royal Twist Deluxe. And unfortunately, these are limited run tobaccos. That means they're only putting out so many, and often when it's like that, I feel like I don't know, should I do a review? Should I just leave it? Yeah, but I think this one's too good to just pass up. So I don't know if it's possible to get any more tins or not. I have a few tins in my cellar now, just because it was such a good tobacco. I think I got some last year, if I can remember correctly, and then I got a few more this year. So, yeah, like I said, it's a roll cake. So, let me show you this tobacco. It's really nice to look at. Yeah, it's a typical Mac Baren roll cake, but it just has some nice color to it, and it's always nice to look at a roll cake. Yeah. So these coins with some dark in it, dark fire Kentuckys, and some Virginias, and then they also have Perique in there. So, and that's a mixture that I often, really appreciate. The flavors of these three leaves really go together well. They're ingredients that really they tend to coordinate well, and they tend to work together well in a blend if they're done correctly, if the amounts are correct, and if they're done in a way that's proper, I think. And I think this blend, they really did a good job. This is, up there with some of my favorite Mac Baren tobaccos, for sure. The mixture, not the cut, but perhaps the flavor profile reminds me, and this is hard to say because they're really different tobaccos in lots of ways, but it reminds me a little bit of Scottish Cake by Robert McConnell, just the profile a little bit. But like I said, it's hard to compare those two because they are really different. But I think, if I'm remembering correctly, the ingredients are the same. But that's another good tobacco too. Scottish Cake. So these coins are, they just come ready to smoke. I think you could just rub them out, break them apart, put them in the pipe, and I think they smoke well right away without any kind of drying difficulties or being too moist or anything like that. They really perform well. Yeah, I brought my Zippo for rolling the dragon. I don't know if you can see that in the light. That's my Dragon Zippo. Yeah. Yep. So anyways, this tobacco is really well balanced. It's spicy, it's woody, it's earthy, smoky, but none of those attributes, for me, overtake the other, if that makes sense. And I often describe it, and I always often think of it as a really well balanced stew. So when all the ingredients are put in there and they all are really well cooked together, and they all add texture and taste, but nothing is distracting from the other. They're they're really complementary of each other, and I think that's one of the important things of this blend is that that the ingredients really work together well and complement each other so well. But I think this is a really good roll cake for the spring, because, and I think I might differ on this from many people, is I think the Virginias really play a good role in this, because I think they lend a lot of sweetness to the blend. There's a lot of lightness and sweetness to the blend, even though I think the blend is primarily a Virginia in the, trying to be a supporting role. I think the Kentuckys and the Periques are meant to be forward in the blend. But as I say that, I think that those two play off of each other well, but they don't overtake the supporting role of the Virginias, if that makes any sense. So I think it's a really good spring tobacco because it has some sweetness and lightness to it. Like I said, for me, and a lot of people might not think that because of seeing that there's Perique and dark fired Kentucky in it, is going to make people perhaps think that it's this really overpowering, strong blend that's going to be something that you're going to want to take in the winter. And don't get me wrong, you can smoke this in the winter, you can smoke this anytime you want, but what I'm saying is I think this works well in spring weather because the Virginias balance it out really well. And although it is a strong blend, it's strong in such a way that it does not overpower the palate. So yeah, so I think that's interesting about it. That it's not primarily a Virginia blend, or I think it's not meant to be. But I think the recipe, the amounts, work in the favor of giving it a kind of a sweetness and a lightness with the Virginias, and kind of settling out the Kentuckys and the Perique in there. And another thing I want to say with that is, if you're afraid of Perique in any way, in my opinion, again, this is not a blend to be afraid of. It's not going to Perique you out for sure. Yeah, so I think it's a blend that's just, although it has some strength to it, it also smokes in a very mild way, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm trying to say, is that it smokes mild enough for it to be a spring tobacco. So I think it works for that. Yeah, I think that's all I can say. About this really good Mac Baren blend. unfortunately, they keep releasing these really good tobaccos in a limited release, but Royal Twist from the 1960s. They brought it back, I think, last year, if I'm not mistaken, and they released some more this year. But really good tobacco. If you can get your hands on some, maybe you can get your hands on some from someone else that has more than he needs. I don't know, is that possible? Maybe you know someone that has some and they're very generous and they can get you some, at least to try. But yeah, Mac Baren, if you're listening, watching, don't think so, but I don't understand why these have to be limited. Yeah, they're going to be a tobacco that many people will like, I think, and I think if something like this was brought back to be available all the time, it would be part of their normal line, I think. So I don't know what the deal is with the release of these tobaccos. Maybe someone out there knows and understands why they're doing this. Yeah, if so, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, yeah, I hope you guys are well, and hope you guys are having a good spring wherever you are in the world, unless you're in the southern hemisphere. Then things are upside down for you. But otherwise, yeah, I hope you're well. I hope you're enjoying a good pipe and at least some kind of good weather. And I hope you enjoyed the spring color. The tour, the short tour. Well, I don't know if maybe it was too long for you, but anyways, take care, guys, and we'll talk to you again soon.